Welcome back to Four Faces. Today we're going to talk about people being denied an organ transplant without getting a COVID-19 vaccination.
The patient refused, rather, is what it should say, to get a COVID shot because of her religious beliefs. Joining us now to discuss this case
children
is
that were really sacrificed up for the advancement of medicine. And for me, as a sanctity of life person, I can't move forward. So there's this policy put in place for something that could happen versus not getting a transplant, which could 100% lead to the end of my life.
Hold up. Before you get upset, let's think about this. Listen to me out before you get upset. Yes, if you don't have your COVID-19 shots and you're on a waiting list and you don't get that vaccine, that COVID-19, you will be put back down lower on the list or maybe denied completely. And guess what? They have a right to do it. Ooh, you probably don't like hearing that. I know some of you are upset now, but hold up. Hear me out before you turn me off or start yelling and throwing a rock at your cellular phone. Hear me out. First, you need to know that it's always been a mandate for you to have all your vaccines, all your shots that's necessary, right? All your flu shots and measles and all that. It was always a requirement in order to get the transplant. In order for that to happen, it was always a requirement. And the reason why it's a requirement is because after the transplant is done, after the surgery is done, they are going to give you drugs that's going to suppress your immune system. So what they're saying is that, which is logical and is actually right, is that if you do not get these shots, whether it's COVID-19, measles, or whatever, the likelihood of success is actually lower. It's factual. It's not my opinion. It's not no one's opinion. It's a fact, right? You basically suppressing your immune system so that the transplant, the surgery, could be successful, right? And by the way, you're taking these drugs probably for the rest of your life, right? So with that being said, think about it. Think about it, right? Think about this. I'm gonna make the relationship between me and you. Imagine me and you, we both smokers, right? And the requirement is that, by the way, one of the requirements, we're talking about, let's use lung cancers for example. We both need a lung transplant. And you're a smoker and I'm a smoker. We both smoking and we have this issue, this medical issue now, and we need this transplant. And one of the requirements would be that we must stop smoking, obviously, right? Nobody's gonna give you a transplant knowing that you constantly smoke. But imagine this. You decide to stop smoking, and I decide to stop smoking. But however, it takes 1 month, 2 months. Sometimes a donor could take, a right donor for you could take maybe years. It's possible, right? So 2 months go by, 3 months go by, and I'm getting a little fed up, and I decide, let me get a smoke or two. I'm gonna smoke, what it's gonna do? I got time. Let me get a smoke. Who knows when this thing's coming? And I was smoking on the side, not letting the doctors know, not letting the hospital know. By the way, you gotta go for weekly and monthly checks up, just to put that out there. But I'm just using this theoretically, right? And now you doing the right thing. You stop smoking, you eating right, doing everything right. But now, a week later, we have a donor. Wow, great news, mister. You have a donor. But the donor is for me, right? Not for you. We got the same blood type. Everything with us is the same, but I just happen to be a little bit higher on the list. And guess what? They decide to go with me and they give me that new lung. And then I go back to smoking all over again. And then I, unfortunately, bite the bullet. But you, what would you say if you found out that I went back to smoking again and you did not get that lung transplant? You would be so upset. You know it, and I know most of you out there know it. If you couldn't get that transplant and I got it, knowing that you're gonna say to yourself, we just wasted that lung on this gentleman, knowing that I could have took it because I was doing the right thing, and it's not fair. You know it, I know it. My life, you would say to yourself, my life would have been extended and I had it much sooner and done the right thing. And as for me, Most of you have been like, I wasted a lung on someone who decided to go back to the wrong thing, do the wrong thing. Well, that's the same situation with the COVID-19. When you take the vaccine, they are saying, listen to me out loud, they are saying that your likelihood of success is much higher than if someone who did not take all their vaccines, get all their update vaccine. They're saying that your likelihood is lower. And the reason why that is because of there's always possible complications. And again, you're going to be taking drugs probably for the rest of your life that will, I should say, reduce your immune system. So they're saying, well, their defense is, well, if you're not going to do the right thing, I'm just being nice about it, but in the real world, it's like we wasting a lung on you. That's really what it is. They feel, they're not saying it like that. They saying, we want to help you out and all. But, the other side of the coin is we wasting a lung on you, man. If they would have knew that I was going to continually smoke after I got those new lungs, they will be very reluctant to give it to me. They might even kick me off the list and give it to the person who they know has stopped smoking. Think about it. You know it, and I know it, that most people will feel it's very unfair to give something to someone who did not appreciate a chance to live a normal life. Most of us know this. So that's what it's about. I don't want this to be, well, the COVID, they forced me to take the COVID. It's not like that, right? The truth of the nature is that it's about, first of all, there's not a lot of donations out there, right? It's not like they got a whole stack of lungs and kidneys and all that just laying around, livers, just laying around everywhere. It's not like that. They have a limited supply, right? I hate to word it like that, but the truth of the nature, from a medical perspective, there's a limited supply. There's a limited supply of organs that are available for transplant. There are. So they have to be selective on who they give it to. And if the push come to shove, they probably rather give it to someone that's, look like they're gonna do the right thing. And that means got their vaccines taken care of, they stopped doing whatever they was doing prior to that, their blood test is all right, etc., etc. Now, and I know most of you would think the same way. It was a waste of time given to someone who did not do the right thing. So we got to be honest with that. And that's what it's about. It's not a conspiracy theory. Like they trying to force you to take the COVID-19, right? Keep in mind what I said earlier. It's been mandated for vaccines before you get a transplant for a long, long time. There's nothing new there. With that being said, Four Faces, we'll talk.